Let's begin. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, yes, in
All right. So as part of our all the AWS services learning, we are currently doing EC2. We have seen IAM service, EBS. We have seen the block store, which is very important concept, and you should kindly revise it and make it get stronger over EBS, because it's quickly you would forget it. If you put it in your resume, you should be able to talk about it. Now we have other services also. But EC2 has so many sub-services. Like we have seen EBS, if there is load balancer, elastic load balancer. That's what we're going to see first today. That's the 12th chapter over here. That's what we're going to see. And we're going to see a monitoring service, AWS CloudWatch 14. Previously, I used to take it late, but now I started taking it, second or the third day, because CloudWatch is a monitoring service that monitors our infrastructure, and it also monitors the billing, the amount of money that we have invested in our AWS account. We can set monitoring on that. It can send us triggers, notification email saying that your bill is going high and low or something like that. So that's important for you as of now, right? That's what I feel, that you should be looking for some service that can send you automatic triggers if your bill goes high, right? So you can control it, right? So these two services we're going to see today. Okay, and there are a few other services that we'll talk tomorrow about it. So let's go to load balancer, elastic load balancer, 12th chapter. Okay, so yes, we created a website, right, through our EC2 instance. In EC2 instance we installed Apache, we installed our web service, and then we hosted an application. Today we'll host a better web service. We'll have a proper website, okay, dynamic website. Um, if we put a web service in one EC2 instance, and then we get a public IP, then we give a domain name to that public IP, and then we expose it to the outer world, saying that this is our website, you can go and log in. Now people go and check out your website, and they kind of like it, and they keep on coming to your website, right? And you become famous. Now what happens at this point of time is, uh, your load on your EC2 instance will go high. So what you will do is, now you will take a maintenance window. Okay, you'll shut down your instance, and you'll change its instance type. We selected, let's say you selected m4.large. Okay, it's an instance type, and now you can vertically scale. I told you two kind of scaling: vertical scaling and horizontal scaling. So you vertically scale, you increase the size of the instance. Okay, you give it more memory and more CPU, but you have to go through a downtime. In that downtime, you may lose business also. Okay, so that is one problem over here. You have to do vertical scaling. Again, there is a limit of vertical scaling. How about thousands and millions of people are coming to your website? You become very, very famous. Okay, now vertical scaling has a limit. You cannot go beyond certain limit. Okay, up to certain GB of RAM and certain number of CPU, you don't have any other option. So and one other thing is that what happens if your instance crashes? If that one instance where your website is running, it crashes, right? A lot of problem. Your entire website comes down crashing, and you lose the business. Then somebody will, your admin will recover it, but by the time there will be a bad name attached to your website, that this website is not stable, man, it goes up and down, let's go to some other website, kind of, right? So it's not a good idea, right, to have single. So we people are using, the IT team is using load balancer from a very long time. Okay, there are different kinds of load balancer. There are physical load balancer. You hit the load balancer, and the load balancer redirects the traffic to the instances. So uh, And then there are software-based load balancer, like Apache can be also acted as a load balancer. No, the request comes to an Apache service and Apache redirects to other services. Okay. Nginx is a service that also can act as a load balancer, and most of the time nowadays, if you are not using any other load balancer, we use Nginx. AWS also provides you a software-based load balancer. You don't need to set up any instance. You don't need to do anything. It's going to be a highly available load balancer. This load balancer, when you create, okay, it gets created into multiple zones. Okay, it's going to be highly available load balancer, and you map your instances under this elastic load balancer. When let's say you have 4 instances, 4 web services running, and if any one of them crashes, okay, or 2 of them crashes, you still gonna have other 2 instances serving the web traffic. Let's you can bring down 2 web servers, upgrade them, add it back under the load balancer, okay, then remove the other 2, all right, and then upgrade those 2 instances and again add it back under the load balancer. This is called as a rolling update. Okay, in this way, your website is highly available. There's nobody touching your your website is not going down, even though you have upgraded your entire website or Apache web service, or you can do so many things, right? I told you there are different kinds of web services. We have seen Apache today. Again, we'll see Apache later. We'll see Tomcat. Then we have Nginx also. There's so many different kinds of services that act as a web server. Okay, so today we're going to see an Apache web service running under the load balancer, highly available, a proper website. All right. So you can have internet-facing load balancer. So this diagram you see, where you see these 3 arrows, right? This is a symbol of load balancer, elastic load balancer. So you can have, once you create a load balancer, it gets created into multiple zones. You just see one load balancer, but actually these are 2 load balancers. Okay. If you have 2 zones, you have multiple zones and multiple load balancer. So user hit the load balancer with their name, the request gets redirected to the load balancer, and the load balancer redirect the traffic to the web servers. Okay, we're gonna do this today. Um, and since it's highly available, the load balance. So general question is, your instances, there are multiple instances. They are in different zones. Okay, so if one of the zone also goes down, okay, entire zone goes down, still your other zone is up and running. Okay, your other instances are up and running. But what if the load balancer goes down? Well, the load balancer that we see in AWS Elastic Load Balancer, short form AWS ELB. Okay, this will never go down because this is going to be a highly available elastic load balancer, because we create one load balancer, but we select multiple zones, which I'll show you. Once you select multiple zones, in that case, your load balancer gets created into multiple zones. So it's actually not one, it's multiple load balancer. So it's the load balancer itself is highly available. Okay, it's a very popular load balancer service. When you're using AWS accounts, okay, you definitely use the AWS ELB. Okay, so creating is really simple. You have to just understand the concepts. See, load balancer may sound too much technical, right? But in if I tell you the very simple definition, load balancer does routing. Okay, like your router, I told you, right? Internet router connects 2 different network together, right? Switch connects multiple devices together, multiple interfaces together, and router connects 2 different network together. And why we call it as router? Because it routes the traffic. It listens the traffic from one end and redirect the traffic to the other end. Similarly, a load balancer will listen the traffic on one port. Okay, when I say, I'll just open a browser here as www.google.com. right? So this google.com, when I hit over here, this goes to the Google's load balancer. Okay, and Google load balancer will have internally instances, right? They're using VMs, or they use Docker containers. Okay, so what happens is this name gets transformed. So DNS will resolve that name into the load balancer's name, and the load balancer will then redirect the traffic to the instances. But here, as I told you, in the browser, if you don't give any port number, and if you use HTTPS protocol, HTTPS default port number is 443. So this is going to go and hit the load balancer of Google on port number 443. Okay, same, it's a default port. Okay, or if you give port number 80, I don't think it's going to listen on port 80. HTTP traffic means unsecure. Yeah. No, it again redirect you to the SSL traffic. So your load balancer is going to listen to the traffic on one port. So we are going to see today HTTP load balancer. So it's going to listen to the traffic on default port 80. Okay, again that can be changed, and redirect the traffic on other port. Your instances under the load balancer will be listening on some other port number. So these instances will be running a service. Let's say if we are running a Tomcat service, and if you are using the default port of Tomcat, which is 8080. So load balancer will listen on port 80 and redirect the traffic on port 8080. Okay. So we have to know about the front end port of the load balancer, which will use default 80 or 443, and backend port can be anything. 80, 80, 80, 440, 43, 90, 90, whatever your web service, whatever port number your web service is running on, you have to give that as the backend port. Okay. So let's go ahead and create it. It's that simple. So you have to come to the EC2 dashboard, click on load balancer here, or you can click over here on load balancing. So before we create load balancer, we have to actually create a target group. Okay, we have two things over here. If you see, we have a target group over here, and we have a load balancers. So target, initially we did not have this concept of target group and load balancer, but now AWS has changed. They have separated target group and load balancer. There are two different things for HTTPS traffic. Excuse me. So target group are actually nothing but the backends of load balancer. Load balancer listens on one traffic and redirects the traffic and the backend ports. So in backend ports means in backend you have the instances which is listening on some port. Okay, web service listening on port 80, let's say. Okay, so target group is nothing but group of instances which is going to listen on some traffic. That's all. Okay, the backends. So let's create target group first. So click on create target group. Okay, give a name to your target group. I'll just give a name. I don't know. That's the project name, I'm assuming. Bluetooth-web-tg target group. Okay, and target groups can listen. So target group is going to be the instances. Okay, this is going to listen to the traffic. So on HTTP, HTTPS, or TCP, any other TCP port, anything else, any custom TCP port also you can define in target group. We are going to do HTTP Apache web service running on port 80 port protocol HTTP. So we're going to keep port as 80. Target type instances. Okay. So instances will be mapped in this target group. Okay, VPC, just take it default VPC. Protocol health check. I'm going to talk about health check in a few minutes. Okay, just click on create. That's all as of now. Okay, we'll go in detail with this later. Okay, targets. All right, so bad of me. All right, we have to create instances first of all. So launch instance, and let's go. CentOS. Are we going to see AMI also today? First, let's create an instance with all default settings very quickly. Let's select some existing security group. I don't think it's still yet up. Oh, security group. Security group I've selected existing. So, oh, yeah, the IP changed. My public IP changed. So I had to redo it again. Yes, connected. So, when you enter into a project, a web application services, database services, any kind of services you have, you in one application you'll have multiple kinds of services. Okay, I was showing you web application architecture already, right? We have web tier, we have DB tier, we have backend tiers. Okay, you can check that in the book in web application architecture chapters. So you could have two or many web services, okay, one or many, database servers, one or many backend services, and if and it will grow, and you really need to create those instances again and again and again and again. Okay, so one way is, like here on AWS, let's give an example. uh, Today they ask you to set up two Tomcat web servers. Okay, so you like created an EC2 instance, installed Tomcat, Java, all the settings, everything is installed, done. So you did that twice, right, for two different instances, and you're giving it to them. Next day they come back and tell you, we're gonna need, four more. All right, so probably you'll create the instance again install Tomcat, and probably the max you'll write some script or something. And then they'll come back and they'll say, okay, that was for dev environment, now we need to set up a QA environment also, so you need to create 10 more web servers for QA environment, and then database server. These requirements will be coming again and again and again to create instances. Okay, the best way is, you take all the requirements of what should you have in the instance, what software needs to be installed, what services needs to be up. Take all the information and create one instance for web servers. Okay, one for backend services, one or how many ever it is. Okay, and DB service one. Okay, if they're using DB from EC2 instance, right? Create one, put everything over there, and create an AMI of it, right? Whenever they tell you, I need four more Tomcat server, you already have an AMI ready, Amazon machine image, your own custom image. Okay, whenever they ask you, okay, I need four more Tomcat server, just spin that AMI four times, done. You don't need to install the software again into them, it will be already installed. And that's what we're going to do today. I need minimum two web service, okay, under the load balancer. And first I'm going to create an instance, and then I'm going to create an AMI of it, and then from that I'm going to create instances. Okay, so first instance for AMI creation. All right, so I'm going to install httpd. That's all. service HTTP start. Okay, and I need to bring down the firewall. Service IP tables stop. Okay, good. Now default website as usual, and but today I'm not interested in doing default. We'll do a better one. A default website, but let's do something else. So there is this website, to plate, right? Nope. Okay, hold on. Yeah, that's the one, toplate.com. Okay, here you can find a sample website. Okay, you can just take it, dump it, and that's what we're going to do today. We'll take something interesting. Steve House. Yeah, this looks good. Zipper. Okay, that's going to be the website. It's static CSS websites. Okay, you just right click on the download button. Okay, say copy link address. Okay, go to your instance and just hit wget, paste the URL, and it will say command not found wget. So you need to install wget, and you also need to install a zip and unzip, because you're going to unzip this. It's a zip format website. So wget and the URL, and it's going to download the website. But what we're going to do is we're going to name the zip file. So what we're going to do is -0 and an O, and we'll say website.zip. So we don't have, as of now, we have not come into the section where we have the developers and all. No, the developer will come in and join us probably this Saturday, and then we'll listen from him about the development and other thing. Let's
Hi,
use,
man.
yeah.
Can you please save this putty session in the text pad so that we can you can share it with us, so we can have all the reference to these commands. If you are using putty, you can
All
have
this
an option to.
this exercise, this exercise is there in the book, every command.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
That's why
Fine.
I'm not getting it. Don't worry, all these commands, whatever I'm entering over here, I have put it in the book. Okay,
Okay.
where whatever that I have not put, I'll share with you. Don't worry.
Okay.
That's I
Yep.
do regularly. Okay.
Sounds good.
If anybody finds something that I have taught and you don't find it in the book, just do let me know. Okay. But most of things, it's there. If it's not there, I send you documents or scripts or the commands or whatever. Okay. But all this exercise is there in the book, so don't worry. One thing, just take this two-plate URLs. You can practice web services. You can practice a lot of web services. Okay, two-plate website. Okay, you can find so many static websites over here. Okay, a CHK config we're gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna talk about it. So let's download. So wget command, wget we give URL, it downloads it for us. -O, and you give the name of the file. Okay, so it's gonna download with this name. All right, so let's download this. All right, download it. Okay, let's unzip it. Zip. Okay, let's go to this directory where it unzipped. Okay. Now you have to copy all this content where you have index.html. Okay, you have to copy all this content, cp-r star, okay, to var html. Okay, in this directory you have to copy. This is the document root directory. Okay, let's copy this. I guess it's copied. Let's check. var HTML. Excuse me. Okay, now let's restart HTTPD. Now let's go back and let's check that out. Yeah, now that looks like a website, right? So like that, you'll have developer codes which you'll put in the document root directory, and in Tomcat we have web apps as a root directory. Okay, for Java application, I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so that's going to be our job, deploying the web application service and then upgrading it. They write a new code, they change something in there, this thing. So we keep on changing that. Okay, we'll see that. That's what our job is, doing continuously delivering change to the application. Okay, as of now we are just doing everything manually, then we'll automate everything in the next week. So we have our website, cool, nice, up and running. But what happens is it's too much load to my website, right? It may go down, right? So I need to have multiple instances of the same web service added under the load balancer. Okay, so I'll have high availability, I'll have redundancy. High availability means if highly available, if something goes wrong, you can upgrade, you can take down. Okay, redundant, kind of similar, a redundant power supply, as we say, which never goes down. It's going to be redundant website, even one or two goes down your website or the web server, the others will be running. And it is also scalable. Okay, if there's too much load coming to your website, okay, you have 4 instances, you can create new instances and add it under the load balancer. You can keep adding it, so you can horizontally scale it under the load balancer. Okay, hold on. You see this, the web application architecture has shown you a load balancer, okay, and then multiple web services. Okay, it could be Apache, Tomcat, Nginx, something else, JBoss, Glassfish, it could be anything. Okay, any web service. We're just seeing Apache now. Okay, so I can quickly add more instances over here. Okay, the user will hit anyways the load balancer, right? So let's come back here. Now I know that I have to keep on adding instance under the load balancer. Before I go to that place, I'll create an AMI. So I have installed the website here. Okay, everything is good. Now I can create its AMI. But problem here is when we bring up the instance from the AMI is actually a shutdown version of an instance. Okay, and when we create the instance from the AMI, that time the instance comes up, boots up, right? Whenever the operating system boots up, our services should also boot up, the services that we need it to boot up. So chk config httpd. So remember, once you create an instance from an AMI, everything should come up automatically. Otherwise, if you log into the instance again and you make changes, start the HTTPD service or bring down the firewall, right, then it's going to be too much of work. So we should have as much as automation as we could do. So chk config httpd on and IP tables off. Right? So even though if we create an AMI, we boot up the instance, okay, our services will come up, the one which we want, and will not come up the one which we don't want. Okay, you have to remember this. Okay, and AMI creation is not one-time job. Remember, it's not like once I create the AMI, done. Okay, you will have changes. Once you have changes, you have to create a new AMI. Okay, then a new AMI, then keep on adding the change and create a new AMI. You have to keep updating your AMI, not only just instances. Okay, so that's our instance state. I'm going to create an AMI, go to image and click on create image. Now when you say create image, the instance will go down and come up. Okay, it's going to reboot. All right, click on create image. So if your website, if you're in beginning of the project, okay, the best way is like you shut down the instance state, stop. Okay, so AMI creation will be faster. That's what we'll do. Shut it down. Okay, its public IP is going to get released. Okay, shut it down. That's once you shut down, your AMI creation will be faster. Okay, in any case, when you say create AMI, that time it's going to reboot your instance once. Okay, but if you don't want instance to be rebooted, if it's already serving some traffic, then you have other options also there. Okay, no reboot, but that's going to be time consuming. But again, it depends. You know, you have production servers, and you want to take a AMI of that server for various reasons. You want to replicate, there is some bug or some issue with your web servers or your application, you want to replicate the same behavior. So you'll take the AMI of the existing production server. Okay, you create a new instance and you'll see, you know, if you can replicate the same behavior. So my point here is there would be various scenarios where you take AMI to one, you know, the instance can go down, non-production, and then production where you cannot afford the instance to bring down. You have both options. Okay. Okay, it's stopped. It's action image, create image, give name to the image. Let's say tab -AMI name. If you have extra volumes to your instances, like extra EBS volume, okay, that can be also included in the AMI. Include or exclude, that's your choice. You'll get an option over here, or you can add a new volume also. And here there is an option of no reboot if you don't want your instance to be rebooted. Okay, if you don't check this option, your instance will definitely get rebooted. Okay, create image, class. Okay, let's go to the AMI section. You see AMI is getting created. Let's tag it. So AMI creation is under process. Again, it's like snapshot only. Okay, like when you take snapshot, it takes the EBS volume and takes its snapshot, right? And from that in snapshot, we can create other volumes. Similarly, AMI is also similar case. Okay, it also takes snapshot, but it takes snapshot of the entire instance, all the volumes in it, all the settings, everything is taken in a snap. Here, once you have AMI, this AMI will get stored into S3 bucket. Okay, S3 bucket. S3 is a storage service from AWS. It's like Google Drive of AWS, and it gives you 5 to 8 GB around free S3. If it's more than that, it will start charging you. So while you're practicing this, if you have the AMI, just practice it once and just then deregister it. You cannot delete an AMI, you have to deregister AMI. So it won't change anything. But you know, if you keep it for a longer time, more than an hour or so, it will start charging you. Okay, that's going to be very minimum because 8 GB is not too much, but still there will be some charge. So once you practice, you have to remove your AMI also. If keep the AMI long, is it chargeable? Oh yeah, I just answered that. Yeah, it's chargeable because it takes some storage space. Okay, but 8 GB is not too much. It's going to be very minimum pennies. It will charge you, don't worry. Don't keep it there for a long time. Okay, once you're done with your practice, just remove it. Okay, and it's taking some time to create the AMI. So see, 8 GB of volume, it is taking long time to create AMI. If the size is longer, it takes longer time. Okay, so AMI creation process is not so fast as you think. Okay, it takes some time. Okay, I'm getting impatient here. All right, so let's talk a few things about the load balancer the time it comes up. So as I told you, simple, there's a lot of definition about the load balancer. The simple definition is it's a routing rule. Okay, it's a routing rule that you can set up on some hardware. You can set up with, you know, Apache service can also act as a load balancer. You can create an EC2 instance, install Apache, and set up some configuration over there. We call it as rewrite rule. Okay, so and you hit the Apache service, and it's going to redirect the traffic to some other instances in the backend. Nginx is one service. Okay, so there are different algorithms of load balancer. Okay, uh, and the most famous one is the round robin, and AWS uses the round robin method. A round robin method is the load balancer is going to listen the traffic on one end and redirect it to one instance. Let's say it has two instances. The first request comes in, it sends it to instance number 1. Second request comes in, it sends into the request to instance number 2. Third which comes goes to instance number 1. Fourth goes to instance number 2. Okay, and so on and so forth. This is called as round robin. Okay, one request goes one instance, the second goes to the second, third goes to the first instance again. So okay, so it's going to like that balance the load. It's not going to actually, AWS ELB doesn't check the load of the instance. Like, oh, it's high CPU, I should redirect the traffic to somewhere else. No, it does not do that. Okay, it just smartly, it's going to distribute the load half, 50%. All right, it does not matter where one instance is already having high CPU, still it's going to send the traffic until unless it's responding to the health checks. Okay, what's health check? I'll tell you. And there are there is active standby, there is active hours is active standby is one instance, let's say half of the instances are on active and half of them are under standby. If active goes down, then the standby takes the place of the active instance. Okay, there are a few more methods. IP hashing over here depends on the IP address of the clients is using, and you can do it at the DNS level also. A DNS can also listen and redirect the traffic to different load balance in a different zones. Okay, we'll talk about that in Route 53. All right, there are hardware-based load balancer. Okay, like a device, a hardware device. All right, like a huge computer. Okay, that acts as a load balancer. Then there are software-based load balancer like AWS ELB software-based load balancer. There is Nginx service. It's like Apache only. Okay, so that also acts as a load balancer. Apache itself can act as a load balancer. Okay, and redirect the traffic to Apache or Tomcat. Okay, is it up? Yeah, okay, AMI is up. All right, good. Okay, let's start this. Okay, let's launch a new instance. This time launch my AMI. You see there's our AMI. Select, and let's go with all the defaults, same thing. Okay, let's add a tag. Let's see, Bluetooth, say Web02. Security group, we're going to select the same one. Okay, see, I'm not giving you a proper name, just I don't know, just to save some time, but you give proper name. Okay, name of the project, environment name, instance name. Okay, and keep it separate. Okay, for every environment. Okay, and don't just do it once and then leave it. Keep doing it multiple times. I'll have questions if you do it again and again. So let's check out web 1. Is it up or not? Okay, web 1 is up, even though we have rebooted it. See, it's up. Web 2 we just created from the AMI. Let's check that out. Both are in the same zone, US East 1A. Okay, web 2 is up. Let's check. Okay, let's check web 2 with its public DNS name. See, that's how an AMI should be. I just created an instance from the AMI and everything is up, right? So you have to take care about the startup programs when you're setting up AMI. Okay, and Windows, it's a different. Okay, you have to do it from some GUI. Okay, all right, my instances, both instances are up and running. Now it's time to add them in a target group and place them under the load balancer. Okay, so let's go to the target group. Right, so this is a target group that is created. Okay, and I'm gonna go to the target section here, edit. Okay, I see two instances over here. I'm gonna click them. These are my two web servers. Okay, but be careful. We have just two web servers over here. Okay, in real time we'll be having hundreds of servers, which you'll see in this list. So carefully choose. Okay, and this is listening on port 80. Okay, our web service is listening on port 80, so that's why we are given port 80 over here. Okay, and registered on port 80. Let's click that and let's save that. Done. Okay, now the status is very important over here. Until unless this is available, okay, the load balancer is not redirecting the traffic to this. Okay, as of now, if the status says unused, the target group is not configured to receive traffic from the load balancer. Okay, so it is unused, so we're getting the status as unused. We're going to add this target group under a load balancer. So now let's go ahead and create the load balancer. Create load balancer. So we have three kinds of load balancer. Initially, we did not have these many options. This is a very latest edition, like this month, no, last month. All right, itself this have come up. Application load balancer, network load balancer, and classic load balancer. Okay. Few months ago, it was just only one load balancer. Now we had then we had application load balancer, and then we had classic load balancer. Okay, now classic load balancer has gone into the previous generation. This will be decommissioned. So we have now application load balancer and network load balancer. Okay, this is for HTTP and HTTPS traffic. Okay, and this is for any other TCP traffic. Okay, so we're going to select application load balancer, HTTP, HTTPS traffic. That's what we're looking for. Okay, the classic will get decommissioned. This serves everything. Okay, so click on create. And let's give some name to our load balancer. Bluetooth -ELB. That's it, man. Okay, internet facing listener. Now I told you it's going to listen on one traffic, so it's going to listen on port 80. And if you see here, we have just two options: HTTP and HTTPS. Okay, so but port can be changed. Okay, but you don't want the front end port of load balancer to change. It should be 480 or 443. Okay, because you don't want your customer to give the website name : the port number, right? And if it's different 80, 90 something, then they have to give the port number, right? So 80 and 443 is default from the browser, so use the same one. Okay, you can add listener, you can have multiple listener, you can have HTTP and you can have HTTPS 80 and 443, and you can have other ports also. Okay, we're going to keep it as 80. Okay, having 443 port number, having HTTPS, you need to add a certificate signed by authorized party like VeriSign or DigiCert. Okay, which authorize that your website is a legitimate website. Okay, gives you certificate for that, and definitely you need to pay some money for them. Okay, and then you can go HTTPS like this, and you'll have a green lock over here which says your website is secure encrypted connection. Okay, and it's verified. All right, that's what it proves. Okay, we can have our own HTTPS also, self-signed certificate, but here you will see a red lock instead of green. I'm gonna give a cross symbol and it will tell you this website is not secure. Okay, if you have your own self-signed certificate. Okay, at the end of the book, on the second last chapter, you have a HTTPS based load balancer. Okay, how to set up your own certificate, and you can do that. All right. So, but here, as of now, to keep things simple, just port 80. That's it. Okay. Now, different zones over here. I told you load balancer gets created into multiple zones, AWS ELB. So you can select zone. Remember, you should select a zone where your instance is. Our instance is in EOS East 1A. So we definitely should select this zone and some other zones. Okay, you have to select minimum 2. That's mandatory. Okay, we're going to select all of them. Okay, let's just select 2. That's it. Okay, but minimum 2, otherwise it's going to give you an error. Okay, configure security settings. So it is telling improve your load balancer security. Your load balancer is not using any secure listener. The HTTPS protocol we are not using. It is telling us it is not secure. Okay. Right, security group. I should create a security group for this load balancer. Load balancer also has security group. Bluetooth-ELB-SG. I should have created this before I create the load balancer. Okay. So I will say, yeah, port 80 custom my IP. Okay, create new security group. Not my IP, anywhere. Everybody should be able to hit the load balancer on port 80. Okay, configure routing. Now configure routing, where it should route the traffic. Okay, so we're saying, route the traffic to the existing target group that we already created, right? And the health check, I'm going to talk about health check now. Register targets. Okay, register the targets, review, create. Okay, very well. So the state, it says provisioning. This is our load balancer. Okay, the state is provisioning. Okay, you're gonna get a DNS name, a long DNS name. This is the name of your website load balancer. Okay, and if you purchase a domain from GoDaddy, BigRocks, or Namecheap, or Route 53, if you purchase a domain, you can map your website name with this load balancer. Okay, and you'll have a proper name to your website, like www.blipkart.com, something like that. Okay, that we'll see in Kubernetes. Okay, we're going to have Route 53 and all there. We'll see how to do it. So it says still provisioning, so we have to wait some more time, but by the time we're going to see few things. So let's go back to target group, and here status has become to initial. Now it says target registration is in progress. Okay, health check, this is very important. If your health check is not proper, then I told you, if the instance is, if the one or two instances are down, then the traffic doesn't go there, it goes to other instances. But how does a load balancer knows where, if the instance is up or down? It's going to do some health check. Okay, this is the health check that you have to set up if you're changing from something from default to something else. Okay, for example, now it says protocol HTTP. So what will happen is, it's the load balance, this is a health check, okay, from the target group, from the load balancer to the instance. It's going to check the instance. The instance is running its HTTP protocol, okay, the Apache. So we're good with this. If you go HTTPS, change it. Okay, right. Now the path of your website. What's the path of your website? What does that mean? Well, let's relog into this. I think the IP should have been changed. So HTML. This is the document root directory of Apache. Okay, if I hit this instance on the browser, and if I hit this instance IP on the browser, I get the website. Okay, right, that's what we did, right? This is the same IP we are dealing with, 150.77. Yeah, this is the one, right? I hit the website, I go directly to the right index.html file is getting served from the root directory of the Apache. Okay, var www.html. Okay, but some websites are like this, the name slash text.html, something like that. Okay, if your website is somewhere else, not in the root directory, then you have to give a path. Okay, to show you that, let's say you have here test. Okay, you go to test and create index.html file. Okay, so I'm just gonna say here Okay, let me restart the website. Service HTTP. So I'm saying the website slash test. That means this is the root directory HTML, inside that test. Okay, once I hit this, you see, so probably you don't have the website in the root directory, you have in a different directory. Okay, if that is the case, then you have to change the health check from here like this to test. Okay, and we are good, our website is in the root directory of the Apache. Okay, but remember, this will be different for different projects and customer, dev environment, Q environment, something like that. Okay, so I have seen this fluctuation so many times. Because of that, the health check fails. Health check fails, the instance doesn't get added under the load balancer, and you will keep on troubleshooting different places. Definitely do your health check properly. Okay. Okay, now so port number, traffic port, all right, the traffic port, the port 80, that's what we have to check. That's what we are telling. Now healthy threshold means check it 5 times. We are seeing given here 5. That means check it 5 times, then only declare the instance as healthy. So that means it's going to do the health check at HTTP and slash and root directory 5 times. It's going to check. If 5 times it returns okay, then only the instance is healthy, it will add under the load balancer. Okay, you can reduce that, we'll make it to 3. Unhealthy is 2. Just check the website, down, check one more time, down, declare it as unhealthy. Okay, timeout is 5 seconds. If you check the website, okay, wait for at least 5 seconds. After 5 seconds it does not respond, say timeout. Okay, interval, so I said check it 3 times or 5 times, then declare it as healthy, but do it in an interval of 30 seconds. So every 30 seconds it's going to go and check the instance whether it's up and running or not. Okay, and if it returns the exit code as 200, that's a success. So there are different HTTP code. Okay, so you can just Google HTTP code. Okay, there are so many HTTP code. There's 501, there is 500, right? There is 401, 404, different HTTP codes. Okay, kind of just go. I'm not sure whether people will ask you or not. If they're too much into the website hosting, they'll probably ask you HTTP codes. Okay, so HTTP codes. So it's going to be a wiki page also here somewhere. List of HTTP status code. Okay, so there's so many codes over here. There are some famous one. 200 is considered as okay. Okay, then you have 302 not found, 400 bad request, 401 unauthorized. Okay, 403 forbidden. Okay, all have different meanings. Okay, it's just so many over here. Just Google for the most famous HTTP codes, status code, and just go through, read about it. Okay, just in case if someone asks you. All right, where are we? Health check. Where is my load balancer? Yeah, here. All right, so this is very important. Okay, make sure you configure it properly if you are changing default. Okay, otherwise this will work anyways if you're not changing default. Okay, monitoring, I will just go and check monitoring after this. All right, so I think our load balancer will be active. It's active. Now let's take its name, the load balancer. Not up. Okay, 504 gateway timeout. Okay, what does that mean? Let's check out. Okay, 504 get, the server was acting as a gateway or proxy and did not receive a timely response from the upstream server. That means this is active. Okay, but it is not receiving any response from the instances. Okay, let's go and check the go ahead and check the health check target. it is saying status as unhealthy, instances are unhealthy. Okay, and the problems with the security group. Okay, let's find out. Request timed out, request timed out. So your load balancer is not able to reach the instance. Okay, so let's go and check the instance. Instances. Okay, we know our instances are up and running. Okay, we can hit it and access it. Okay, but does load balancer have permission to access it? Okay, let's check its security group. Down, you see the problem. It is saying port 80 is allowed only from my IP and not from the load balancer. Okay, I have to allow it from the load balancer. I can say HTTP. Okay, and since HTTP traffic, okay, let's give it directly anywhere. Okay, one way you can do HTTP and you can give the load balancer security group also. HTTP in the source custom SG, search for Bluetooth ELB security group. Okay, so proper name saved me, so I can give like this also, security group. I save this, right, and then load balancer can hit it to the instance. Okay, but let's just give anywhere, save. Okay, now let's go to the target group. None of these available contains healthy target. Requests are being routed to all targets. US East 1A. Okay, this is going to take some time, okay, to make it as healthy. So availability zone US East 1A, US East 1A, and our load balancer is also serving US East 1A. So we are in the right zone. We have the right zone configured. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's just remove them and then add them back. Still unhealthy. Okay, let's wait it out. Okay, yep, healthy. See, because health check, we're gonna do 3 health checks to make sure it's active, and it says now the instances are healthy, status is healthy. Now let's check that out. Let's hit the load balancer once again, and there you go. Voila. Okay, you have now a highly available website running under the load balancer. Nothing can go wrong, right? You can have multiple instances in different availability zones also. Okay, even if one of them goes down, no problem, your website is still going to be up and running. Okay, I wanted to show you something actually, the round robin quickly. Come on, back up. See, so the request, let's say, went to web server 1. I refresh it, it goes to web server 2. I refresh it, goes to web server 1. You'll say, how do you know? Well, I know because it works round robin fashion. Okay, and to check that out, okay, to prove as a proof what I'm saying, I'm going to do a small experiment. Okay, it is just for learning purpose to show you that round robin. Okay, don't do it in real time, because in real time everything will be same. I'm going to move everything to the test directory. Accept that. Okay, here let me create an index.html page. It's web server 1 or web server 2? Is web 1. Okay. For web 0. What I did actually is I created a index.html page in the root directory, and I've moved the existing website. Okay, now web server 1 has this content, web server 2 has the website, the proper website content that we downloaded from TwoPlate. Okay, now let's verify that. Okay, that's web server 1, right? Server web 0 is returning. Okay, that is web server 2. If I refresh this, it shows me the proper website. Okay, now let's go to the load balancer and let's see what it does. So I don't know where I'm now. Let's hit enter. Web server 1. Let's refresh once again. Web server 2. Web server 1. Web server 2. Okay, see, this is what round robin is. Like if I have 4 web servers, then one by one the request goes. That's how it does the load balancing for you. So if anybody asks you how does the ELB does the load balancing, well, it uses round robin by default. Okay, and there is no place where you can change that. Okay, it uses round robin algorithm. Okay, one traffic goes to one, the other goes to the next one. All right, that's all. All right, that's all about the load balancer. Okay, just go through it, practice this once again. If we are going to have load balancer once again in auto scaling one more time later in the game, there we'll see automatically scaling load balance. It's an amazing feature. Okay, here if the load goes high, I'll probably create a new instance and add it under the load balancer. In auto scaling, it automatically detects the load, high load, and add the instance under the load balancer, and that it does by doing some monitoring. Okay, so you're going to see today some monitoring. All right, so I'm going to move to a different service, AWS CloudWatch. Very simple service, self-managed service, but it is for monitoring, and you can use this to monitor your AWS infrastructure. Okay, even the load balancer uses AWS CloudWatch monitoring, and there's so many services in AWS that is dependent on AWS CloudWatch. Okay, so we're going to see that service now. Any question on this? Can we also verify this round robin tail -f where to access on both instances? You can go ahead and try that out, man. You will see the request coming on one instance. Okay, you'll just see when you hit, you will see the access.log. Once you don't get the request, you don't get the access log. Simple. Okay, I proved it already. So let me do top here. Okay, now see, we have infrastructure, and website is up and running, but how do you know whether there is a high load? You had it under the load balancer, that's great, but will you be monitoring it all the time? Okay, so we can go to the instance, and the thing that goes high mostly is network and CPU, and because of that your web service comes down crashing. Okay, so it's a monitoring tab which is going to show me the CPU utilization. Okay, if it goes high, that means it's going too much, it's utilizing too much. Or I can open the session, I can say top command and check the load, right, continuously. But that's going to be 24/7 job, and if I have hundreds of instances, it's just impossible to do it, right? So I should have a mechanism. Whenever the load goes high, I should get automatically email notification or a phone call or an SMS. Okay, some kind of notification, so I can take some action. It is telling me the CPU load is going high on web server 1 and web server 2. Now for me, it's time to go ahead and create a new instance and add under load balancer, so the load gets balanced, right? One or two or many, right? But how do I know? I get through the notification. So AWS has a monitoring service which is called as CloudWatch. Okay, I'm not going to go into too much theory about monitoring. Okay, I'm going to talk about monitoring theory, some more theory later. Okay, we are not, first of all, being DevOps, we are not going to be into monitoring too much. All right, at the max you will automate few plugins and all. Okay, but your job certainly is not monitoring. Okay, make sure if you are getting hired for a monitoring team, that's not a DevOps job at all. Okay, monitoring is a 24/7 work, which is done by mostly the freshers who just come into the IT organization. It's a kind of a work that I really don't recommend to anyone, at least once you have some experience. Okay, initially it's good. Okay, uh, is my voice breaking for everyone? No, Kumar, it's not breaking, it seems. Okay, so see, certainly don't fall for a monitoring job. DevOps and monitoring are really different thing. Okay, so people are trying to somehow push monitoring for DevOps. I don't know for what reason. Probably they want to save money, or I don't know what. DevOps responsibility is to automate everything. Okay, bring in multiple parties together, streamline all the automation, take care of the infrastructure. Okay, monitoring is a 24/7 job where you have to sit in front of lots of monitor and keep monitoring. Something goes wrong, you escalate it to the next level. Okay, and that next level are gonna be you. So who are you going to escalate, right? So but being said that, you should be aware about the monitoring concept. You may need to set up a monitoring. Okay, you are not going to continuously monitor, but you would be setting up monitoring. Okay, rarely. Okay, not all the time, really rarely. But if you're working as a consultant or something, or a freelancer, then you need to set up monitoring for them, right? In that case, your infrastructure is on AWS. You can go AWS CloudWatch. So as the name says, CloudWatch, it watches your cloud. It is only for monitoring your AWS cloud infrastructure. It doesn't monitor anything else. Okay, like we created instances, we're gonna monitor them. We're gonna monitor its CPU. We can monitor its CPU, memory, network, anything. Okay, there are metrics for that. Okay, so I'm here on AWS CloudWatch. Click on dashboard. Okay, we have a new dashboard here. Okay, click on metrics here. Right here you see metrics. Now what are these metrics? See, whenever you use any service in AWS, it's going to create automatically some metrics for it. Okay, see, the difference between AWS CloudWatch and any other monitoring service is this, that in other monitoring service you have to create metrics by yourself. Other monitoring service like Nagios, Xenos, Zabbix, there are so many monitoring servers in the world. Okay, so many, Prometheus, the list is so huge, I can't even tell you. So here in CloudWatch is nothing groundbreaking. The only thing is that there is less work. Everything is managed by AWS, a platform as a service. You just select the metrics that you want to monitor, and that's it, done. So you use a service. So far we have used, I have used in this region, North Virginia region, I have used ELB, I have used EBS that we did yesterday, I have used EC2, RDS, I was showing it yesterday to someone. So I use this service, it automatically creates metrics for it. So these metrics are created on EC2 per instance metrics. So what are these metrics? Well, CPU utilization. So this metrics will monitor the CPU. Okay, network in metrics. This metric will monitor the network in. What is the network traffic in that is coming? How many packets, right? It's coming in 2.24 MB. Okay, and this is the graph that you see over here. Okay, disk read, disk write. Okay, and the network packets out. How many packets are going out? Okay, I'm gonna take just one example here of CPU utilization. You can try others for yourself if you're interested, but this is only going to monitor the infrastructure. Okay, AWS infrastructure, like CPU and network and memory and the disk read. Okay, only these things. It's not going to monitor the service that is running. The Apache service that is running is not going to monitor. If it goes down, you won't be able to see it. For that, you need to have a different solution. Okay, This one is infrastructure monitoring. If you want to do AWS, CloudWatch is the best choice for you. One thing is that detailed monitoring is not free. Once you're done with the practice, just quickly delete it in 1 hour so you don't get charged anything. Okay, and there is some free tier on this also. Okay, so you won't get charged anything initially at least. So see, this is CPU utilization. This is our instance ID. Okay, that's our instance name, and it is telling us, past 1 hour. And there was 1.63 CPU utilization. Then it went down, 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 down. At 225, it came down. Right, then 225 UTC. Okay, this is the time of the instance. Then I had shut down. Remember, while creating EMI, so you don't see any data over here. Then I brought it up. Then CPU utilization came up. Then it went down. Then again it bumped up little bit over here. Okay, no, 0.33 at 250, like that. You see everything over here. What happened past 1 hour, past 3 hours, or 12 hours, or you can give a custom window also over here. Okay, last 15 minutes, what happened. All right, so you can see all that graph, but certainly again you are not going to monitor this also. You need an alarms. You need alarm. Something goes wrong, CPU goes beyond 50, just send me an alert. Okay, so you're going to set some alarm. Go to alarms, click on create alarm. All these steps are there in the book. Okay, so don't worry about where I'm clicking and all. Just focus on the process. I have to get the instance ID. Hold on. So let's do it for Web0 and just copy the instance ID. See, instance ID are important here. Otherwise, I have to search through everything. So I'm going to search the instance CPU utilization. I'm going to set an alarm for that CPU utilization. Okay, let me select that CPU utilization. Okay, I go next. Okay, now this is where I set the alarm. So I'll say the name is high CPU on Web01. Okay, and I'll give the project name Bluetooth. This is important because this is going to be the title, the subject line of your email. Okay, I'm going to give the description same. Now I have to say whenever CPU utilization is, now here I have option greater than equal to, less than equal to, greater than or less than. I'll say whenever it's greater than equal to 60%. Okay, don't worry, I have a method, okay, which I'm going to show you, which can take the load of the instance more than 60%. Okay, I'll just keep here 50. I'm saying whenever CPU utilization is greater than 50%, okay, for one consecutive period. So what is this consecutive period? Well, the period is mentioned over here, 5 minutes. Okay, I'm saying for 5 consecutive minutes, right? 5 minutes if the load is more than 50, right? Continuously for 5 minutes, if the load is more than 50, it's going to take some action. Okay, and that actions are here. Okay, I've given one consecutive period. If I give 2 consecutive period, that means for 10 minutes. Okay, I'm going to just say 1. Okay, and you have few minute things over here. If we had like 1 minute, now they have given 30-second and 10-second also. Okay, I have not tested it certainly. And now action, whenever this alarm state is alarm, so whenever the load of this instance goes beyond 50, the load average, okay, that's the load average. All right, if it goes beyond 50, okay, at that time the state is going to be alarm. Okay, then what do? Well, send a notification. All right, so I'm going to set up some new list over here. I'm going to give an email address. Right, oh, that's it. I hope that's right. Okay. Where is that? It's not saving. Let's save this. Email list. All right, let's do create alarm and let's see it, because there was a place I could have saved the list, created list, and select that list. That's, I'm not seeing it now. And yes, okay, let's just revise it once again. So I just created an alarm, selected the CPU utilization of my web server one. I've given a title over here, and I said whenever the CPU utilization is greater than 50 for one consecutive period, okay, take an action. The action is send an email notification. All right, and the period is 5 minutes. So let's click on create alarm. Invalid notification list allowed characters. Okay, doesn't look name list. Let me change something. Mm, okay, hold on. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, oh, hold on. Let's check in the. There used to be an option. Let me open the book. It was already open. Uh, What happened to the book? Right. Oh, you add the list. Yeah, save change. Yeah, I'm not getting save change here. Yeah, that sort of thinking. Select list. I can save the change. Would look good. CloudWatch email list. Recently, so many changing things changed in the AWS. One more thing, what you see in the book, some of the UI of EC2 load balancer is different. Okay, in the book we have a different screen, and in now you have different screens in AWS. In this month, so many web interface that is changed for AWS. So many things. Most of the services, load balancer. Now you see CloudWatch. Okay, like that. So many interface has changed. Setting everything remains the same. All right, but the difference is between the UI. So you have to kind of little bit do more search, like on the screen. Where that option is. They have just changed, but everything is there. For instance, metrics. Right? Okay, to create a new SNS tab, choose new list and notification to type in SNS tab. For email list, type a comma separate list to notify them that each email address is sent a topic subscription. You can send for email. Yeah. Send notification. Give some name. Okay. Create alarm. Okay. I have to confirm the email. Okay. So I'm going to log into that email account and I'm going to confirm that email ID. Okay, I'll show you. First, let me log into it. Okay, security alert, check activity, email confirmation. No, this is not the one, this is something else, not from AWS. Let me check in spam. Devops club. I found the email ID. New list. My Devops X HYD club. That's the email ID. It changes. Okay, now we should get, yeah. So we got a subscription confirmation. It's confirm subscription. So email verification done. Okay, good. Now you get an option. View alarm. Okay, alarm is created. All right. Can you explain also which services are chargeable or not for better clarity? That is CloudWatch email notification. The email notification is free. They don't charge you anything for this. Okay. Whenever there is a charge, I'll tell you. Okay, I told you, AWS CloudWatch detailed monitoring is chargeable. Okay, so every minute monitoring, I'm going to talk about it. Okay, once I'm done here. So okay, alarm is set up. If the load goes beyond 50, then you get an email notification. Okay, so how do you test it? Well, see, I'm going to show you something. Don't try this on real production systems. Only do it. This is only for learning purpose. Okay, uh, don't try this, or don't even talk about this also in interview. Okay, there is a utility which I'm going to install. First, I'm going to install a repository. EPL-release is if I install this package, this will add a repository, EPL repository in my central system. This is a very famous repository. So now I get access to install a lot of software. So I'm going to install a software called as Stress. Okay. Now Stress is a software that can stress your system. It has some functions, okay, that will run internally and create load. It's going to do a lot of computation for you. Stress is installed. You hit Stress. Okay, it will show you how to use it. So stress-cpu, and you give some amount of CPU functions. So it's going to create. If you give -cpu or -cpu, it's going to spawn that many function, a square root function. It's going to create that many square root function. Okay. Then for how long do you want to do it? You can give timeout also. How long you want it to run? Let's say you want to run it for more than 5 minutes to test the AWS CloudWatch. Okay, or alarm. What this will do is actually basically this will run some function multiple times, okay, for us n number of seconds, okay, which will cause high load. Okay, to actually check that, I have to hit stop here and keep it running. This is going to take some time. You have to be patiently waiting. I'll log in to this instance from a different session. Once I do a high load, okay, I won't be able to log into the instance. So before itself, you have to create 2 sessions, okay? One where you're going to monitor, and one where you're going to cause the high load. Okay, so okay, this is better. Okay, so I'll see stress, okay, and I'll run the stress command, okay. But before I run it, I want to show you the current load. So how do you check the load of a system? Well, you just hit top command, real time, you can check the load. Okay, it's 0.0007. Okay, and now I'm going to stress it. Stress -c or -cpu, and I'm gonna say, example did I take around, let's say 90 CPU square root function, okay, -timeout, okay, it should run continuously. It should time out. 5 minutes is how many seconds? Okay, let me give 500 seconds directly. Okay, and -verbose. Right, I've hit the command. Okay, check out the load. Okay, it just fluctuated till 7.5, 13. Okay, it's going up. Don't try this in production systems, okay, or don't try in an organization. Okay, don't install stress on system of the organizations, okay, where you're working. All right, do it in your own personal instances. Okay, it went till 35, 39. See, the load is increasing. Okay, it should go beyond 50 and stay there for 5 minutes, so our alarm notification will be triggered. Okay, okay, from here on you have to wait 5 minutes. Okay, so if you have any question, you can ask me by that time. Right, you won't see anything now here. It's going to take some time to update these things. Okay, statistic standard custom period 5 minutes. Okay, by the time I'll go and get some water. Can't this be used for stress testing? Can you explain also how to notify the CM via text message? Via text message, here we don't have the capability. You can use a tool like PagerDuty. So this sends an email notification to PagerDuty, and PagerDuty makes you a call. Okay, those tools are not free, first of all. Okay, you can integrate it with other cloud providers. The telephony cloud. Okay, there are so many ways to do it. Certainly, it's not your area. Don't worry about it. Okay, but there are ways to do it. Okay, I did it with PagerDuty and one uh, telephony cloud once by using their APIs. You send them an email, their API request gets generated and then makes a phone call. Okay, like you get a phone call, right? Make sure you do your bill payment, your due date is expiring, that kind of phone you'll get from PagerDuty also, saying that so and so instance has so much of load. Press 1 to acknowledge, press 2 for escalate, press 3 for ignore, something like that. Okay, so there are some tools, but those are not free really. Okay, it's 87. He's still surviving, right? 87 load is too high. Still surviving. Okay, I'm gonna put myself on mute, get some water, come back and show you the email notification. Okay, and then we'll be done. Okay. All right. See, the graph shows that it's gone till 35. So what happens is, it's not a detailed monitoring that we are doing. The monitoring, once it's not detailed, it's going to be doing every 5 minutes. Okay, that is different than the period here. Okay, detailed monitoring is not free. Okay, then this is going to do a monitoring every 5 minutes, which is free, so you'll not get charged anything for this. So it checked, last time, and it was the load was 35, and after 5 minutes it's going to check again the load, and the load will become higher than that, and it's going to stay there for 5 minutes, and then we'll get an email notification. Okay, we'll see detail monitoring. Okay, we have so many services that uses detail monitoring, like auto scaling, Beanstack, and so many other services that we're going to see, which uses the detail monitoring, RDS. Okay, so that time I'll show you what does that mean. Okay, right. So it's 35, certainly not ringing anything. Once it does the check again, it goes back, it does the check. Okay, it will see it's more than 50, it's gonna be an alarm. Okay, by the time you have to wait patiently. Oh boy, is the 5 minutes not done yet? Or am I being very impatient? See, the load went till 90. I hope of 500 seconds again. 500 seconds is how many minutes? Um, 5, 6.
8.5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm very bad in maths, man. Thank you. 8.5 minutes. It's gonna stay there for 8.5 minutes. All right, 99% load average. Okay, it crossed the threshold. Okay, came up. You see a bump. It went beyond 50 over here. Okay, you see it. Okay, but the state is still okay and not alarm because it has to stay there for 5 minutes. Then only it's going to be an alarm. Okay, that's what our consecutive period is, right? One consecutive period of 5 minutes. If 5 minutes it stays up, it means for the next check also it finds it's beyond 50, then only we're going to get an email notification. Okay, so it calculated, right? 33%. Last time it checked, then now it's 90%. All right, the state is alarm, and we should get an email notification. You see there, I got an email. Alarm, high CPU on web 01. This is what I have given in the subject line. Okay, excuse me. Subject lines are important because so many times people don't even read this email. Okay, by just looking at the subject line, they just log into the system and check the problem. Okay, so you see here the name, the description, the state change from OK to alarm. All right, and you get the URL, you get the time, you get all the information. You click on this, it takes you back to the alarm, right? It takes you over here. All right, that's a high load. All right, so that was CloudWatch. Billing alarm. I'll show you billing alarm. I've just shown you CPU utilization. You can do it for network. You can do it for disk read, disk write, but you should have certainly some tool to test it. You have told me, can't this be used for stress testing, but Prasad? No, see, we are actually doing something naughty over here. It is this is not a I won't say this is a stress testing. We probably do something real time. We do use some tool like JMeter or something. We hit the instance with high load from externally, right, and then stress the instance. That will be a real stress testing. This will be like internal, where it's running a square root function. Okay, it doesn't matter if it increases load because of that. So certainly not. uh, yes, so this is CPU alert. Okay, we have other kinds of alerts, other kinds of metrics that we have seen, and you should find the right tool and utility to stress those parameter to check whether everything notification works or not, and it does work. Okay, there are other kinds of actions. So you have seen email notification. There are other kinds of action. You can have an EC2 action. Now EC2 action is an action where you can recover from the instance, which actually have not worked for me so far. Whenever the state is alarm, you stop the instance. Okay, or you terminate this instance, or you reboot this instance. Okay, so should you do this? But it depends really on the scenario, and if you get into the scenario, you will come to know should you choose these actions or not. Because sometimes there is high load, and because of some bug in your software or something, and because of that high load, you are not able to log into the system. Okay, once there is load that goes beyond certain point, you won't be able to log into the system. You won't be able to do anything, nothing. The only option would be there to reboot the instance, and this is happening frequently. Okay, all you have to do is, until unless that bug is not solved, you know that you have to reboot the instance. So you can directly select this action. Whenever it goes beyond 80 or 90% and stays there for 5 minutes, just reboot the instance, because we don't have any other choice. Okay, and if you have multiple instances under the load balancer, then certainly we can choose this option. All right, stop the instance, terminate this instance. Certainly I have not came into any situation where I can tell you an example where you should stop an instance when there is a high load, or terminate it. Certainly not terminated. I won't recommend this, at least initially. Probably for spot instance or something, but not really. Don't even think about it as of now. Okay, we are not taking the EC2 action. We're just taking an action which sends an email notification. That's it. Okay, all right. Then you have billing alarms. Okay, click on billing over here. Billing alarm will let you monitor your bill. If your bill amount goes beyond certain point, or it's gonna send you an email notification. So no billing metrics found. To get started, please visit account billing console. Okay. Okay, receive billing alerts. You have to go here, preferences, put a check mark over here, save your preference. Okay, then come back to CloudWatch. Okay, by the time I'll delete this alarm. Action, delete, yes, delete. Okay, billing, go to billing, click on create alarm. So once you check that preference that receive the billing alert, then you click on create alarm here, and here you can set the alarm. You can say exceeds when my total AWS charges exceed beyond, let's say $5. Okay, send me an email notification. So now you get the list over here. See, okay, that's all. Create alarm. Okay, now okay, it's gonna take some time to gather the data. So you're saying that whenever your bill is beyond $5, whenever you have this your account, right, that you created with AWS, set up the billing alarm. So in case there is some service that you use by mistake, it's consuming a lot of money, so it sends an email notification to you. So you can take action quickly. Okay, oh, I'm getting more bill, what's the problem? Go to the billing dashboard, which service is using it. Okay, find it out and fix the problem, delete that service. All right, in real time also finance team may ask you to create a billing alarms. All right, that time also it's be helpful for you. As of now, it's very helpful for you, so go ahead and do it. For this very reason, I have taken CloudWatch first. Okay, otherwise I take it very late in the game. All right, some people were telling you're getting wrong bills and all. I tell them so many times, be careful, but people want to take risk. All right, but because of that they get bills. So it's a good idea to set up billing alarm. All right, just go ahead and set it up for yourself. Right, and they're not gonna charge you anything for this billing alarm. Okay, it's free. All right, yeah, so that would be all for today, people. We have more AWS services tomorrow that we'll see. Okay, yeah, if you have any question, you can ask me. Make sure you delete all the resources that you're using. Okay, so I'm gonna delete the load instances. And I'm going to delete the target group. How can I change the region? Guys, you can put the question in to everyone, not in private chat. Okay, other people will also learn from the questions. How can I change the region? Simple, just select this and just select which region you want to go. Okay, that's all. And then whenever you create a load balancer in that region, you will see that only in that region. Okay, so like I'm in North Virginia now. If I go to Oregon, I won't see this load balancer there, or target group there. See, there's nothing over here. This is a different region. Okay, go to North Virginia. Yes, Sunil, will certainly do that today. I'll take care of that. Target group. Okay, delete. Let's delete. Okay, let me delete the load balancer first. First, we should delete the load balancer. Okay, then go ahead and delete your target group. Okay, remember AMI, Action deregister AMI. There is no option to delete it. There is option to deregister it. Click on deregister. Continue. Okay. Go to snapshots. Yeah, we have not created any snapshot today, but this is the snapshot of the AMI, so you can delete it. Once you create a AMI, you'll see snapshot also. Okay. Go to EC2 dashboard and kind of just watch everything. No elastic IP, no load balancer, and keep your security group anyway free, so I don't have any problem. Billing alarm, yeah, the one that I created, I deleted it. This is for the bills. All right, so that's done, wiped out clean. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. We have ARDS and FC other AWS services that we'll see tomorrow. Okay, just kind of keep adding. All right, now we have a load balancer, monitoring. Okay, so many other things, and now we're going to add other services that we'll use. Yes, I'll do that for you today. I'll make sure that happens, that completes today. All right, so that would be all for today. Take care, bye bye, have a great day and night, and please do practice. Just go through the book and please do practice. Okay, I'll
Thanks.
see you then tomorrow. Bye bye.